just like we did, yes, just like how we did it yesterday. So let's turn to the page where I put the post-it at. We're gonna put it right here. So again, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write the date. So October 29th, 2024.
Can you 4 come to table 3? Table 3. And then table 1 goes to table 2.
Yes, yes, honey. Okay, we'll get you one right now, okay? Okay, so get that. And remember that you draw the straight line down. I'll show it how to do it right now. Just let me get this for Lily. Okay. All right, so let's take a look up here. Okay, so again, we're gonna draw the line, the first line down, like this. And then we're gonna do the second one across, just like that. And then in the middle, we're gonna write Ivan. Remember, Ivan is uppercase because it is a name. So let's write Ivan. Give me a thumbs up when you have that. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so today we're gonna be reading, our one and only Ivan. So we are gonna be starting on page 206. So we're gonna do today what good readers do, where we're asking questions. Yes, Leilani. Oh, I'm sorry. 207. We're gonna start at 207. Yes, Alessandro. Yes, honey, you may blow your nose. Okay, so remember, we're going to be doing what good readers do, like we did yesterday. So we're going to be asking questions. We're going to be thinking about things. Oh, wait, you know what we totally forgot? We forgot one more thing. Okay, so remember, the first one, the first part here is going to be says. I can't believe I forgot that. So says, dot, dot, dot. Good. The next one is, I like how you remember. The next one is feels. Dot, dot. Okay, does anybody remember what the third one was? Ethan?
Does.
Very good, does. And then dot, dot, dot. And then, Jude, what's the last one?
Thanks.
Thanks. Very good, good job. And then dot, dot, dot. Okay, so we got our page, we got it set up. Now we can start. Yes, Eli? It's just because there's gonna be words after. That's why we put that. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Last question because we need to move on.
Will we do the I do, we do, again?
I'm gonna do the I do, but I'm gonna do it really quick so that you guys have the chance to share. Because I know you guys got a lot to share. Okay, so don't worry. Okay. No more questions. Because the longer we take, no more questions. Because the longer we take, it takes away from your guys' like we do, and I want you guys to have the opportunity to share. Okay, so let's start at page 207, chest beating. Okay, often when visitors come to see me, okay, I'm gonna wait. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, let me start again. Often when visitors come to see me, they beat their hands against their punny chest, pretending to be me. They pound away, soundless as the wet wings of a new butterfly. The chest beating of a mad gorilla is not something you ever want to hear, even if you're wearing earplugs. Not even if you're 3 miles away wearing earplugs. A real chest beating sends the whole jungle running, as if the sky has broken open, as if men with guns are near. So one of the things, if we're thinking about our says, feels, and does, one of the things that Ivan says is that the chest beating of a mad gorilla is not something you ever want to see. So that's something for us to keep in mind of something that he said. Let's go to the next chapter. Okay, angry. Thump. The sound, my sound, echoes through the mall. George and Julia spin around. Julia drops her backpack. George drops his keys. The pile of pictures go flying. Thump, thump, thump. I bounce off the walls. I screech and bellow. And bellow means that you just let out a loud roar. I beat and beat and beat my chest. Bob hides under knot tag, his paws over his ears. I'm angry at last. I have someone to protect. Okay, now thinking about that, how does that even feel? Davina, how does he feel? He feels really angry. Yes. Danielle? Yeah, his actions show that he's angry because he's doing the chest beating. Good. Matthew?
Why did Ivan protect not tag if it's just slipped off?
Why does he protect it? You're asking why he doesn't or why does he?
Why does he?
Because not tag is like family to him. Even though he's a stuffed animal, he still means something to him. That's why. But that's a good question though. Aiden?
I noticed that Ivan was furious because on the first page, he said you never want to hear a gorilla beat its chest when it's mad.
Very good. I like how you make that connection. So let's dive a little bit deeper of that. Why do you think he's angry? What happened yesterday when we read that probably made him angry? And that's why he's pounding on his chest, bouncing off walls. Let me see. Ethan? Okay, we'll fix it after. Okay, Robert, what do you think?
That makes him mad
Yeah, what do you think made him so mad?
from yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
Probably because Julia didn't understand his puzzle.
Very good. Julia didn't understand his puzzle. Okay, one more, then we're gonna move on. Ryan?
Ivan is mad because Julia always understands his paintings because on the chapter beetles, it was just a big black bird. So and she was understanding it. Now she doesn't.
Very good. Good job. Okay, let's take a look at the next chapter. Puzzle pieces. After a long while, I grow quiet. I say, it's hard work being angry. Julia looks at me with wide, disbelieving eyes. I'm panting. I'm a little out of shape. What the heck was that? George demands. Something's really wrong, Julia says. I've never seen Ivan act this way. He seems to be calming down. Thank goodness, George says. Julia shakes her head. He's still upset, Dad. Look at his eyes. My pictures are scattered all over the floor, like huge autumn leaves. What a mess, George says, sighing. I wish I hadn't bothered sweeping tonight. Do you think Ivan's okay? Julia asks. Probably just a temper tantrum, George says. He reaches under a chair to retrieve a brown and red picture. I can't say I blame the guy, stuck in that tiny cage all these years. Julia starts to answer, but then she freezes. She cocks her head. She stares at her feet, where my pictures lie in disarray. Dad, she whispers, come see this. I'm sure it's another Rembrandt, George says. Let's pick up these and get going, Jules. I'm exhausted. Dad, she says again, seriously, look at these. George follows her gaze. I see blobs, many, many blobs, along with occasional swirls. Please, can we go home now? That's an H, Dad. Julia kneels, straightening one picture, then another. That's an H. And here, she grabs more pictures. Put this one here. And I don't know, maybe that one. You have an E? George rubs his eyes. I hold my breath. Julia is running now. She picks up one picture, sets down another. It's like a puzzle, Dad. This is something. It's a word, maybe words, and a picture of something. A giant picture. Jules, George says, this is crazy. But he's looking at the floor too, wandering from picture to picture and scratching his head. H, Julia says. E, O, O. Julia chews her lower lip. H-E-O. And that looks a lot like an I. H-E-O-L. George writes in the air with his finger. I-E-O-H. Not the letter, an actual I. That's a foot. Or maybe a tree. And a trunk. Dad, I think that's a trunk. Julia runs to my window. Ivan, she whispers, what did you make? I stare back. I cross my arms. This is taking much longer than I thought it would. Humans. Sometimes they make chimps look smart. Okay, so we are going to stop right there. I know, we got to the good part. I know. I want to save this one for another day. Okay. So, I know, that was interesting. Okay, so let's take so show me a quiet hand. Okay, so remember, this is going to be my I do. So we're thinking about the character. We're thinking about Ivan. We're thinking about what he says, what he feels, what he does, and what he thinks. Okay, so remember, the first one is my do. You don't have to write these. I just want everybody's eyes up here on the screen, okay? Yes, Robert. Yes, you may. Okay, so for the says, Ivan says the chest beating of a mad gorilla is something you don't want to see. So I'm gonna write that one. So Ivan says the chest beating of a mad gorilla is not something you ever want to hear. Okay. And then for the feels, then remember, this is my do. So is it a question that you need something, or is it a question that you want to say something?
You said something wrong when you first said that when you're gonna write. You said instead of here you said see.
Okay, I'm so sorry. It's just because I read my notes really, really quick. I just read it quick so that I could write faster, so you guys have the chance to write. Okay, so feels. So Ivan is angry because he felt all his work was for nothing. So Ivan felt angry because. Okay, Robert, you remember you're not writing right now, honey. Because he felt all his work was for nothing. I know some of you shared some really good things of why he was angry, so I want you to remember those so that you can write it. Okay, so now we're talking about something that he does. So one of the things that he does in the chapter is he bounces off the walls. So I'm going to put here that Ivan bounces off the wall. Yes, Matthew.
I was gonna write the same thing for field, but in different words.
Okay, that is fine. You can write it, like I said, you may borrow one of these if you need to, but put it in your own words, okay? Because remember, you might be thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Yes, Danielle?
Can we call it the same thing, but can we also put like some of our own?
Yes, I want you to put some of your own. I'm gonna tell you how many you're gonna do, okay? Just let me do the last things, and then you guys will get started, okay? And then you'll have your opportunity to share. Yes, Isabella? Yes, you may. Okay, so thanks. So Ivan thinks it's hard work being angry. He says that. He's panting and he's out of shape. He's like, this is hard work. So I'm just gonna, so this one, because he says it, I'm not gonna infer, because the author did tell us, and also they gave us a description, some context clues. So, Ivan, but remember, if it's something that you think that is happening, you're gonna say, I infer that, whatever it is you're going to infer. Yes, Aiden.
I was gonna say for things. I was gonna say I wonder why Ivan thinks being angry is hard.
Okay, that is a good question. That is good if I was doing an I wonder. Remember, we're thinking about what we read and what he's actually thinking. Because again, the book might not tell us, like yesterday, we kind of inferred some different things. Like for example, remember I infer that Ivan thinks his billboard painting has to be perfect. Because remember, he kept saying it has to be this way, it has to be that way. So we were inferring, okay? So if it's something like that, then we will infer. But if it's something he directly says like this, like, oh, it's hard work being angry, we don't have to infer it because the author wrote that. Okay, the author thinks it's hard work. Okay, now I'm gonna set a timer. So what I want you to try to do 2 of each. So you're gonna do here, and I'm even gonna write it up here because I know yesterday there was a lot of confusion. So 2 says, 2 feels, 2 does, and 2 thinks. Okay, so let me set the timer. Yes, Ryan.
Can we write the exact same thing as you or?
No, I want you to write your own. But if you get stuck, you can use one if you get stuck. Okay. Yes, honey.
I'm a little confused.
Oh, what are you confused about, honey? Maybe my directions weren't clear. What are you confused about?
And why did you write 2 on every one?
So that you know that you have to do 2. That's why. Because there was some confusion yesterday. Okay, so I'm gonna give you about 5 minutes. Well, I want you to try your best.
Say that one more time.
Yes, let me fix it. Oh. Grayson, can you share with us something that you wrote?
Ivan says some visitors come to see me to eat with chef.
Very good. Let's see now. Davina, can you share something for us?
Ivan says it is hard to
Good. Let's see now. Anybody? Ryan, can you share something for us?
Ivan says you do not want to hear the meaning of a mad gorilla.
Very good. Okay. Keep writing. Robert, you want to share?
Does Ivan's chest beating really sound like guns?
Okay. Oh. Okay. That's more of a question. Okay. Remember, we're thinking about what he says. We're thinking about the character Ivan, right? So we're thinking about what something he says. We're thinking about how he feels, and it talks a lot about him being angry. So we could talk about that, things that he does, and then what he's thinking.
So I could put it for says.
You can put it for says, yes, if that's something he does say. Yes, Matthew. Yes, of course.
Ivan feels it is hard to be an angry gorilla to work all day.
To work all day, very good. Ethan?
Is it like Mac and Julia does?
You know what? We're working on Ivan, but you know what? You gave me a really good idea. Maybe I'll talk to Miss Ferreira about doing this next week again, and maybe we could focus like on another character, maybe like Julia and her dad or something. Okay, but thank you. But no, just on that. Yes.
What's that thing called when you do that?
Oh, Bello. So V-E. So V-E-L-L-O-W. Like, I want you to think of like yellow. Oh no, hold on. Room 24, Mrs. Steele speaking. Actually, someone's absent today. Okay, no problem. I think station nurse is behind you. Oh, okay, the station nurse. Okay, yes, Ryan.
Can I share my thoughts?
Yes, share, please.
Ivan thinks he's done all the work for nothing.
He's done all the work for nothing. Good. Jude, can you share what you wrote? Something you wrote for us?
Ivan feels it's hard to be a gorilla after walking almost every day.
Very good. Let's see now. Danielle, can you share for us? Very, very good, Danielle. Gabriel, can you share something for us? Anyone, it doesn't matter. Okay, I know you have something written because you've been writing.
Ivan feels angry because he can't understand his people.
Very good, okay. Let's see now. Raise your hand if you haven't had a chance, if you haven't shared. Okay. Raiden, can you tell? So Raiden, then Isabella, Fernando, and then Kurt. Very good. Okay, Isabella?
Ivan feels angry because he feels off his work and working every day.
Very good. Fernando?
Ivan says humans. Sometimes they make chimps smart.
Very good. That one was my favorite one. I like that one. Kurt?
Ivan thinks he is
Very good. Okay. Let's see now. Raise your hand again if you haven't shared. Okay, so Zoe, Eli, Lalani, Lily, and then Elisandro. So we'll just go around like that. So Zoe?
Ivan crosses his arms.
Good, very good. Eli?
Ivan feels angry.
Good. Okay, Leilani?
Ivan feels angry because he was chest beat.
Very good. Lily?
Ivan feels mad because Julia doesn't understand.
Very good. I got a lot of feels. Very good. And Alessandro?
Ivan feels angry because he was bouncing around his domain.
Very good. And I like how all of you use evidence from the text to support your answer. That's very, very good. Good job. Okay, did anybody, we got things, no, we pretty much covered it today. So again, the point of our lesson was that we took a deeper look at Ivan and we thought about his character. So you did, like, if you think about it, you've done some character traits today. You thought about what he says, so what the character is saying. You thought about how he feels, the feelings he has inside, the things that he does, his actions, and then what he's thinking in his head. So we dug a lot deeper into the character Ivan today. Okay, raise your hand if you have two of each. Okay, if you're in table 1 and you have 2 of each, come bring it to me. Because what you're gonna do is after you're done, you're gonna show me your books. I want to make sure you have the 2. Okay, so come and do that for me, please.